provided to you through REMARKETER is a monthly newsletter that we make available at the beginning of every month. You could simply go ahead and select that newsletter and send it out to your contacts. What this newsletter includes is the latest report from TREP, together with the graphs and charts to make it easier to read, as well as a couple of interesting articles to make it fun and interesting for your contacts to read. But what's also very important is for you to be able to create your own newsletter. So this sometimes might not be sufficient, and you want to be able to create a custom newsletter. And that's why we've added this new feature for you right here. So you can add a custom newsletter. All right, so let's go ahead and click on this custom newsletter. And there we go. We have a system that you can build your own custom content. So what's important to note at the beginning is that you have to add these two sections to your newsletter before you begin. So the newsletter title also note that this is going to be your email subject. So word it accordingly. So here's the monthly newsletter for the month of December, for example. Then we want to add the description. So the description is the text that comes right after the salutation in the email that you'll be sending out. So as soon as your client opens it up, right after opens the email, right after the section where your branding, your picture, and your name and information exists, right after that it says, "Dear John Doe," for instance, and then the description follows right after. So this is pretty much your message. You want to be talking to your clients through this section. So you want to include something like, well, so here's what I put together for you for this month. It's important to note this and that happened in the market. It's very interesting to see this and that. I included more news articles. I've included an announcement of for instance, an event that's happening. So explain what they should be expecting. It's also always a best practice for you to include a couple of call to actions as well, sort of like, share this with your friends and family. Let me know if you have any questions. Get in touch with me if you need any help. So those kind of things would be a good ending to this the description here. So you can put in the message right there as well. And now we can start adding different content to the newsletter document. So as you can see here, we have all sorts of different content that we can add here. We can add listings, we can add reports to the newsletter, we can add a custom text area where I can add some custom information. I can add videos here. I can add news articles from my news and blog. I can add titles, buttons, and breakers to divide the different sections of the newsletter. Once I've done doing these, I can click on the generate button, and the system is going to put together the code that's required for my custom newsletter document. So let's go ahead and test it out. I always like to start every section with a title, so I'm going to put the first title here. So the title includes a header and a subheader. So the header would be something like our latest listings. And then the subheader would be explanatory to the header, obviously. You don't have to include the subheader, but it's always best to have a little description here as well. So take a look at what we have to offer. So it could be, these are the recent sold properties, whatever you want to include there. So I added the header, so that's my number one section. Now I'm going to add listings, for instance. As soon as I click on that, on the field here, you're going to have a drop down which is going to show you all the listings that are available in your listing manager. So you could go ahead and start selecting these. Click again, select. click again, and select. Once you're done, you can click on the Add button, and see, we have listings added to my newsletter now. Then I can add a breaker. So this is going to add a line here, which is going to separate this section from the next section, for instance. And I can add my next title. So let's say I want to add the market reports after, and I would like to add a header here. So market report, and then the subheader could be, here are the latest trends in the market. There we go. Add, and there it appears. Then I'm going to click on the market reports button. Now the cool thing here is that it doesn't have to be GTA anymore. You can select your market according to your target audience. So for example, if I want to add Pickering, I can select Pickering and add the market report for Pickering. So there it is. You can see that the Pickering market report has been added to the article. Then I could go ahead and add a text area. Let's say I want to add my my analysis for the market report that I just added. So I'm going to add a text area. This should be very familiar to you. It's the same text editor that we're using all across the system. So you could just put in your analysis here. So let's go ahead and put it in. So that would be my analysis right there. So I can explain about the market. I can include all sorts of formatting here. So it's wide open to you. This is your custom section, and I can add it in. So there we have it. Now I have an analysis at the bottom of my report right there. So you can add text areas in there as well. You can also add videos. So what I can do is that I can go ahead and click on the button here. Now note that you will have to insert the full URL of the video here. Please note that you can't use shortened URLs, so you have to select the URL from, you have to select the URL from the top of your browser when you find the video. So I'm going to copy and paste that URL here, so you can see it's the full YouTube URL right there, and I can click add. As simple as that. So it would be great if you're sending out a newsletter and you want to also talk in person in a little video about the market analysis that you've made, for instance, and then you could just post it on YouTube, use the link, and add your video to the document that you're preparing for the newsletter here. Next, I can add news articles. So if I click on news, I can click in the field here, and I can select from all the articles that I already have available under news and blog right there. So I want to use this one, I want to use this one, and click add. So there we go. We now have news articles added to my newsletter document as well. Let's imagine, for instance, that I also wanted to add a header before the news section, but I forgot. What I need to do is click on the title button right here. So the latest news, and I can add the header right there. But that one is now at the bottom. I can simply select this and move it up to the top of the news section. So you can see that you can move the different sections up and down in the document as well to make them, to put them in the right order that you want them to be here. Now the title is at the top of this section right there. You can also add buttons here. So for instance, let's say that you have an announcement to make, and you want people to click on a button and register for a, let's say, an event that you're sponsoring, for example. So I can add a button, click on the button, and it will say, it will first ask for the button link. So let's say it'll be http://www.yourdomain.com/registration, for example. All right, so whatever that link is, and then put the button text here. So click here to register. There we go. So if I click on add, I can have a button at the bottom here as well. All right. So once you're done with adding all the content to the document, what you need to do is click on generate, and then the system is going to generate the code that's going to be used for your custom newsletter document right here. So you can see that everything is now put in order, properly classified and put together, so that can be used as your custom newsletter that's supposed to be going on. So if this is what you like and if everything looks good, you can click on save, and you can go back to newsletters. There it is, your custom newsletter is ready, and you could go ahead and click on actions and email. Select the people that you want to send the custom newsletter to, and click send, and there you go. You've sent your clients your first custom newsletter.